Okay, just a little disclaimer before I do start this episode of Opposition Uncovered. At the time of recording, there has been a COVID outbreak in the Premier League, as a lot of people know about, and that has caused Watford's last 3 Premier League games to be postponed. This game may or may not go ahead at the original date of the 28th of December, but nonetheless, this is a preview for Watford versus West Ham United at Vicarage Road as part of Opposition Uncovered. Now, I don't know what it is with Watford, but I'm surprised that they haven't sacked a manager while I've been filming this. Because I don't know what it is with them and the Pozzo family, but it seems to have quite a tight grip on that club. And they seem to sack managers 2 or 3 times per season. Did it in the season last went down. They got in Javi Gracia to start with and they sacked him. Then they got Flores back in, they sacked him. Then they got in Nigel Pearson and actually a 3-1 win where Declan Rice scored that beautiful curling shot ended up in him being sacked. Then they had Hayden Mullins for the last 2 games of the season. Then they went down to the Championship and then they came back up again. This season's been pretty much the same. They had Xisco as boss, sacked him. Now Claudio Ranieri is back in the Premier League, this time with Watford. West Ham versus Watford's a game that I do have a lot of confidence about because we have a good track record against Watford. I remember us 2 seasons ago beating them 3-1 both home and away. The one at the London Stadium was a bit more nerve-wracking because that was a real 6-pointer. But West Ham came out on top. Really good performance. That was a video where I said that Rice and Souček complemented each other pretty well because Souček was the more attacking DM and he scored a goal in that game. And Declan Rice scored a goal in that game too, which was also nice. And Mikel Antonio was going on his mega massive goal-scoring Saurus Rex mentality at the time. So he was tearing it up. And West Ham managed to stay in the Premier League at Watford's expense. This season has yet again been difficult for Watford. Started off the season really well. Won 3-2 against Aston Villa. And beat Norwich City 3-1 on week 5. But since then, they've only drawn once, won twice, and lost the rest. The 2 wins they did get were against quite difficult teams. They beat Everton 5-2 and beat Manchester United 4-1. 4-1 against Man United in the game that cost Ole Gunnar Solskjaer his job. So they have had some wild moments this season. They've been unpredictable at times, but for the most part, it's been L for Watford. It probably doesn't help with their ownership because I don't know what it is. The Pozzers seem to have a very tight grip over Watford and a link with Udinese. Because a lot of players who've played for Watford end up going over to Udinese. When they went down, it was Pereira, Dalfeu, Pussetto and Isaac Success were 4 who went over to Italy. The Pozzos have had quite firm control over Watford. I think the fans are getting a bit sick of them. The fact that they end up appointing managers, maybe place unrealistic expectations on them and then sack them when things don't go quite according to plan. But it all comes back down to the ownership in that sense. And there's probably some tension between the fans and the Pozzo family right now. As for 3 players as my ones to watch, one name immediately I'm going to talk about is striker Emmanuel Dennis. 7 goals in 15 Premier League games. Scored on his debut for Watford in that 3-2 win over Aston Villa. Looks quite a deadly striker, I have to say. As well, he looks a very, very strong player. Physical, got a good eye for goal. Watford needed to really boost up its strike force since Troy Deeney left, and they got that Emmanuel Dennis. Wasn't a name that was well known about before, but is now a name that's known about in Hertfordshire. Up next is Senegalese international Ismalïa Sarr, who I think is a really, really talented winger. It took a while for him to get going in the Premier League when he first signed in the 1920 season, but it was in the Championship where he started to really develop as a player. This season in the league, he's had some quite good performances. In the 4-1 win over United, he scored in that. He's also scored in the 3-1 win over Norwich City, and he scored in games when it's been needed the most. in games where he's helped his team to secure points. So that's the kind of difference-maker player that they have there. Someone that they can rely on for goals and someone they can rely on to help get out the victory. And they got that in Sarr. And finally, I'm going to talk about João Pedro. A very young, highly rated Brazilian striker who some West Ham fans said that they would have taken him because of how young and how much potential he had. Recently, his father passed away, and I think this is a lovely tribute. Pedro was in tears when he scored against United because he wanted to make his dad proud, and he's gone through a bit of a tough time with his family because of the loss of his father. But Pedro, someone who Watford fans are starting to warm to. He's come from the same team that Richarlison used to play for in Fluminense. I think that's how you pronounce it, from Brazil. And he's starting to grow as a player. 20 years old. He's in a team that's not going to apply a hell of a lot of pressure on him to succeed. And he can just do that in his own pace. And that's the good thing about him playing for Watford. He seems quite a very humble and very appreciative young man as well. As for a player who played for both, I've got to go with someone who, I'll say this name, I knew West Ham fans are going to look at this and think, oh yeah, him, yeah, I do remember him. Because it wasn't long ago, but I do remember him. Jeremy Ngakia. Remember that academy graduate who made his debut, I think it was against Liverpool or someone like that? And everyone said that he was amazing at right back and said he was the future right back. But I ended up leaving West Ham to go to Watford. And everyone said that it was going to be a stupid move. Yeah, him. And Ngakia still plays for Watford today, although he doesn't really start in the Premier League. He made 5 appearances for West Ham in 1920 season, made 25 appearances for Watford in the Championship last season, and he had a bit of an attitude problem, from what I remember. That's why he wasn't allowed in a Moyes team. But he's at Watford now. I'm not sure what's going on with him there. Either way, he's their player right now, and we've got Harrison Ashby coming through, so we don't need Ngakia. As for the result, I'm going to say 2-1 win for West Ham. Don't know why, I just feel it. Watford's not in great form, but West Ham's in slightly better form. West Ham needs a win. I'm going to say 2-1 to West Ham in this game. And I can see us really going for it. It's a team that we have a lot of confidence against. We've got a good track record against them. Let's continue that track record. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Opposition Uncovered. If you liked the video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Take care, everyone, and I will see you all soon.